You know, I've got a few questions about faith in particular. Here lately in Sunday school, we've been uh, doing a study on the chosen and actually was talking about some of the miracles that happened in a recent episode. And as well, I've been spending a lot of time in Hebrews 11. Yeah, that's kind of where these questions, kind of observations, you might say, stem from. Uh, you know, Jesus, all the miracles he did, all the stuff he did, he is definitely mentioned in the book of Hebrews, without a doubt. Uh, Now, the Hall of Faith, all these people who are in Hebrews chapter 11 that appropriated something by faith. Uh, I noticed the people that Jesus healed, the lady that crawled through the crowd and touched the hem of his garment. She's not in Hebrews 11. The centurion who said, all you have to do is say the word. He's not in Hebrews 11. Uh, the man who wanted Jesus to simply come and heal his daughter, who refused to listen to the leaders around him and the people around him and said, Jesus can do this. Yeah, the woman at the well evangelized an entire city. She's not in Hebrews chapter 11. So what's the difference? Made me ask a couple questions. What is the difference? All these people in Hebrews chapter 11 appropriated something apart from having a physical relationship with Jesus in front of them. In fact, is all of them appropriated something. Hebrews says, having seen them afar off. Having seen this promise afar off, we're assured of them, embrace them. Uh, but what I'm saying is, in the days of Jesus' flesh, they were not physically there in the days of Jesus' flesh. Now, these people that Jesus physically healed, his Jesus's faith, yes, is obviously mentioned, but the people Jesus physically healed, they had the opportunity to physically stand in front of Jesus and to see him, whereas these other people did not get to see him. And their faith appropriated something apart from that physical relationship with Jesus. Can our faith, it's something I stood out to me in this last class here that I really wanted to discuss. Jesus healed several people, and he said, "Go and tell no one." I never understood why. Why would he say, "Go and tell no one"? I mean, it just seems kind of contrary to get the message across. But I guess have to ask the question. I guess, can someone appropriate something through the simple principles, the basic principles of faith? Using the basic principles of faith, can you appropriate something by faith apart from that relationship with Jesus? Does your faith still work? And like we know, it's supposed to be faith toward God, but can faith toward something else? Can you have faith in a person, faith in a system, faith in a you know? Yes, you can. Faith can be pointed in the wrong manner. And there's not maybe not faith toward God, but can it be not necessarily faith toward God, but still work? I don't know. I will say the people all mentioned in Hebrews 11, I believe they all have faith toward God. I would say so. Even Rahab, some of the people that weren't Jews in there, they still had faith toward God. The Romans, they had faith toward gods, many gods. And some of those, it was part of, some of the Romans, that's why it wasn't, maybe so far of a stretch for them to believe in Jesus, because, they had the concept of God or gods. Yeah. Can our faith appropriate things apart from that relationship with Jesus? And is that the difference between those who are mentioned in Hebrews chapter 11 and those who are not? We know Jesus said, in all the land of Israel, I've never seen such great faith. He said that to a few. So that means all those people that are mentioned in Hebrews 11. Jesus said he'd never seen such great faith in the land of Israel. Now, is he just talking about it in the days of his flesh, or is he talking about I think those are interesting questions. To me, some of the things I see just immediately is what are the differences? And yeah, some had that physical relationship with Jesus, and some didn't have that opportunity. Now we don't necessarily have that opportunity to physically stand in front of him, to crawl through the crowd and touch the hem of his garment. We can still have a relationship with him. That example leads to another question. The lady crawled through the crowd to touch the hem of his garment. Her faith was very specific. She said, if I could just touch the hem of his garment, I'll be healed. Jesus said, who touched me? And there's a crowd of people pressing in around him. Why did they not get healed? Was their faith not specific? Perhaps they believed that Jesus could heal them. Perhaps they believed that Jesus, when he gets to them, or when he stops, or when he gets a moment, might heal them. But their faith was not specific, saying, as soon as I touch the hem of his garment, I'll be healed. Does our faith need to be specific? And is your faith specific? We believe in Jesus in a generality, in a sense. Let's put it that way. We believe in the person of Jesus. We believe in the Word. But do we make our faith specific to our situation and believe for a specific thing? Does our faith need to be specific? Does our faith need to say, if I crawl through this crowd and risk death, I'll be healed? Just some questions, more than anything, observations, whatever you want to call them. I heard someone speak along these lines, saying that yes, you can appropriate things by faith apart from this, and I guess just witnessing some of the things I've witnessed recently and whatnot, and I think you can. And I think that's part of why Jesus says, go and tell no one. And I think it's also what he means when he says anybody who tries to climb up another way. I don't know the exact wording there, but is it anyone who climbs up and tries to climb up another way is a thief and an idolater? But he's basically, the point is you can try and climb up another way. Why weren't those people that he healed? Why wasn't that lady in Hebrews 11. Dinner's here. Excellent. Thank you. Why wasn't that lady in Hebrews chapter 11? Where the centurion said, all you have to do is speak the word. Why ain't he in Hebrews chapter 11? Why ain't any of the people in Jesus' ministry mentioned in the hall of faith? And what can we glean from that? There were several people where Jesus said, your faith has made you well. And then, of course, there were others that were healed perhaps through Jesus' faith. Peter, after the resurrection and the ascension, had such great faith that people simply passed through his shadow, or his shadow touched him, and they were healed. We know nothing about the people's faith that were healed. We just know that his shadow, when it touched them, healed them. Peter had such great faith. Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, make no doubt, had such great faith. Yeah, Jesus said, I had never seen such great faith in all the land of Israel. And we have examples of people like Abraham, who's called the father of our faith. Sarah, she's mentioned in there. She laughed at God. She laughed at the angel. What's so great about that faith? But she deemed him faithful who had made the promise. That's why she's in there. Because she judged him faithful who had made the promise. Does our faith need to be based on a promise? All these people in Hebrews chapter 11 obtained promises. What does that mean? Some even obtained a better resurrection. They obtained promises. These are promises apart from the simple assurance of salvation. Does God still make promises to us today? When you read his word, do the promises stand out to you? Do the promises stand out to you like stepping stones of faith? We sing songs like standing on the promises of God. Leaning on the promises of God. It's not easy to do, though. Faith is something that's hard to fully comprehend. Feel free to comments, questions, please. Trying to point my faith at God's highest heart's desire for my life and your life. God bless.